Jayson Tatum, Jaylen Brown, doing it together, doing it as one, it makes it so much sweeter. They have become a dynamic duo and ready to be a championship duo.
The 2024 NBA Championship Finals are finally underway. Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown, or Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic. But who's the better of the duo in the Celtics? Everything regarding the impending NBA Finals between the Dallas Mavericks and Boston Celtics is filler, a side dish. No offense to those who remain in the shadows, but the duo have much too much clout, cash, and attention for this to be the case. They will either be the source of rejoicing in 2 weeks or the reason for loss. We've all seen plenty of fascinating tales this year. The star power is amazing. Celtics forward Jayson Tatum and Mavericks guard Luka Doncic are two of basketball's best 5 players, having just been named to the All-NBA first team. Boston guard Jaylen Brown is an All-NBA player who is playing some of his finest basketball ever. Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic of the Mavericks have craftiness, command of the floor, confidence, incredible talents, shooting range, and crunch-time guts that cannot be disputed. Kyrie and Luka have everything, including mutual respect and sizzling chemistry. The Celtics are in the finals for the second time in 3 years, having gone 12-2 in the Eastern Conference playoffs, including a sweep of the Indiana Pacers in the conference final. The Mavericks are back in the finals for the first time since 2011, having defeated 350-win teams in the Western Conference Finals. Dallas defeated the Minnesota Timberwolves in the conference finals in 5 games. So they look hungry to win, and they play like a championship-winning team. But Tatum and Brown are averaging 51.0 points, 16.5 rebounds, and 8.5 assists, and their relentless approach has placed pressure on the Heat, Cavaliers, and Pacers. The two All-Stars have been teammates since 2017, when they were taken as the 3rd overall choice in back-to-back drafts. They've grown alongside one another, making the playoffs every season they've been in the league. What they're bringing, after years of speculation about their chemistry, some legitimate, some not, Tatum and Brown have put it to rest. They appear at ease on the court and are pleased with each other's achievements. And that is all that counts. So who's the best player? Most fans would say Jayson Tatum. Jayson Tatum is usually quoted as the greatest, most impactful, and hence most valuable player on the Celtics roster. There's not much of an argument against it. He's been an MVP contender for several years, and he's just getting better at establishing his physicality and generating opportunities for his teammates. He's the obvious focal point of Boston's attack, both as a scorer and a facilitator, and when he sets his mind to it, he's a first-team All-NBA defender. But is he the only contender for the most important player on the C's? Jaylen Brown is the team's 2nd most used player and the 2nd top scorer. He leads the club in drives and is most likely the greatest player on the team at getting to the basket, which is important for a team that relies heavily on 3-point shooting. When Tatum isn't on the court, the offense generally goes via Brown. He's demonstrated an increased ability this season to make the proper decision once he gets into the paint, but I'm still doubtful. His assist statistics are up from last year, while his turnover numbers are down. He is still the C's most effective transition player. Jaylen going downhill will always be a terrifying sight for opponents, something no one else on the team has been able to emulate. Sure, the Celtics want Brown's ability to get to the rim and leak out on the break, but Drew Holiday and Derek White could step into larger usage positions and take on some of those responsibilities if Jaylen wasn't on the team. It should also be emphasized that while Jaylen is a very competent and developing defender, he is still the poorest defender in the starting 5 solely because everyone else is so good. So that side of the floor isn't always where he adds value. We also need to start thinking about Jaylen's shooting. He is only hitting 33.5% of his catch-and-shoot threes, despite the fact that he should be shooting the best of his career, given who he is playing with and the kind of looks he is receiving. Drew and Derek are simply more consistent as knockdown shooters, and this cannot be overlooked. What about the influence of these swingmen? These two players are just remarkable together. They have comparable skill sets, sizes, and athletic abilities. Tatum take over games more frequently. Brown is arguably the superior finisher, as seen by his Game 1 corner 3 against the Pacers, which forced OT in a series-opening victory. Tatum and Brown soon realized they needed each other to win a championship, so any on-court friction is now history. Brown received the most expensive contract in NBA history last summer, but Tatum is first-team All-NBA this season, as well as the more accomplished and all-around player. As a result, this title attempt falls more on his shoulders. Tatum averaged 30.3 points, 10.3 rebounds, 6.3 assists, and 1.3 steals in the East Finals, demonstrating his desire to reach the championship round. Tatum is also determined to erase the stinging memory of his lone previous trip to the finals, in which he was buried by inefficiency against the Warriors in 2022 and disintegrated. Now, Brown didn't do much better in that series, but his development in these playoffs was consistent and excellent. 22.8 points in the first round, 23.8 in the semis, and 29.8 in the East Final, which is not bad for a backup. Tatum and Brown are more unique offensive threats than Kyrie and Luka because they finish rather than create opportunities for teammates. Tatum and Brown are more dangerous when they score rather than pass. The Mavericks would rather see Holiday, White, and Al Horford shoot. Brown is making 54% of his postseason shots, which is the best he has ever looked as a Celtic. Despite the Celtics' three-point dominance, neither he, with 37% in the postseason, nor Tatum, with 29%, are as deadly from three as Luka and Kyrie. The Celtics' biggest possible problem is what Tatum performs in a close game, and this series may have a number of those fourth quarters. He struggled all season in these circumstances, shooting badly and making mistakes. He missed two crucial shots in Game 1 of the East Finals before Brown saved him. Tatum went crazy during overtime. Normally, Tatum would be the first player in Joe Mazzulla's starting five to be replaced throughout the season. But with Brown in charge, the three-time All-Star has taken on that role. With his 37 points last night, the Celtics coach discussed the process. Both of them were having a constant, free-flowing conversation throughout the game, said Mazzulla. And credit to them, it's just a matter of trusting the staff's choice at the time, but there are a few factors to consider. Obviously, if one of them is performing really well, they would want to keep them. They adjusted the sub-strategy on the last day to keep the matchups they desired later in the half and quarter. Mazzulla also added that it is just a continual free-flowing thing that is first and foremost in their best interest, and the next best thing is how they can ensure that they are taking advantage of matches with the correct lineups. It is just a free-flowing discourse, and the guys are doing an excellent job of articulating it. Coming off the All-Star break, Mazzulla highlighted the importance of not combining Tatum and Brown for everything, preferring to promote their individual characteristics and personalities for the remainder of the season. We're seeing it now more than ever. The two are demonstrating leadership and complementing each other to an unprecedented degree. They read the game with their IQ and accept what the defense provides them while playing to their abilities. Tatum and Brown have improved their ability to pick apart opposing tactics and anticipate plays, directing Boston to provide teammates with the best chance possible. Tatum and Brown have yet to win a championship. However, they led the Celtics to Game 6 of the 2022 NBA Finals before losing to the Golden State Warriors. With Derek White and Kristaps Porzingis excelling in complementary positions during the 2023-24 season, the Celtics are poised for another long postseason run. Most importantly, Brown and Tatum are aware of each other's talents and limitations, and they understand how the other may help them become the greatest versions of themselves. That selflessness has been particularly evident this season when they have been sincerely involved in each other's success. During the 2024 NBA All-Star Game in February, Tatum allegedly begged head coach Doc Rivers to give Brown his minutes so Brown could compete for the game's MVP. Brown ended with 36 points and almost lost out on the title, but he received a more significant accolade by earning the Larry Bird Trophy as Eastern Conference Finals MVP, with Tatum among those enthusiastically celebrating his All-Star colleague. Will the Celtics pass the Los Angeles Lakers for a league record 18 championship, or will the Mavericks pull off another surprise and win their second title in 14 seasons? Who will be the MVP, Jaylen Brown or Jayson Tatum? Tell us in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to explore our other content. Don't miss out on the opportunity to subscribe for more intriguing updates. We value your feedback, so please let us know if you found the video entertaining. We look forward to sharing more exciting content with you soon.